half-point base rate till the end of this year would be a green flag for the banking sector, sitting positive growth for the end-year results despite the economy plateauing. All this means that NCBA Bank, who just announced a half-year profit after tax of 9.3 billion, denotes a 20-year-on-year growth. Now, believe with increasing customer deposits to this bank, NCBA, the asset base would be competitive with other banks in the country.
NCBA Group has reported a 1.75% interim dividend for the first half of 2023 after announcing a 12.4 billion shilling profit before tax during the same period. The group notes this adds to an overall growth of 35% for the 6 months.
£1.75. And I'd say now when you look at our numbers, growth in all aspects, growth in our total assets, of 9%. We've grown our profit before tax by 11%.
NCBA Group Managing Director John Gashora says this was further propelled by a customer deposit growth of 10%, bringing the total asset base to 660 billion shillings.
But we do take recognition of how long sometimes it takes to resolve NPLs. Yeah, because one, you could be in court with a customer and you need to resolve that. Two, you could be trying to dispose of collateral at the time. Three, trying to work through with them and they're restructuring their business so that they can get back onto flight.
The financial firm believes if the 10.5 base rate passed by the Monetary Policy Committee is sustained, the banking sector will thrive despite the prevailing macroeconomic pressures.
In their last decision, they took a raft of actions with regard to the new framework for implementing monetary policy that we think are very positive net-net. So the interest rate corridor is a very good new inclusion from the MPC.
And as for the future revenue expectations, for Q3 of last year, the performance was quite exemplary. It was a 98% growth. Could you maybe tell us from then, how has the growth trajectory been, and what are some of the steps that you are taking to ensure that in the coming quarters and in the coming half year and even full year, that you will be able to have this type of growth again?
So last year, I must say, we had a few very positive wins, if you may, and one of them was on the FX side. I think we grew our foreign exchange income last year quite significantly, and that contributed to that 93% growth that you saw. Obviously, today we're talking of comparison from a higher base. Last year was a high base, so today reporting a 20% growth in PAT to me is a very good performance given the high base that we saw last year. And considering that in the results that we have released, if you look at purely FX, year over year, we are down £1 billion shillings on FX.
Hibak Said for TV 47.
And on that note, by